And I do want to talk a bit about the season we're in because, I think most of us in here are health coaches, but even if there's a few in here who are not, I will say this. We're coming into what many call separation season. I don't know if you've heard of that term, but this is where I'm encouraging you to separate. And what I mean by separate is not isolate. Okay. Don't think, oh, she's telling me to isolate. I thought I was supposed to have community. I thought I was supposed to be with people. I'm telling you to be different, to do the things. This is my encouragement to you today, is to do the things that the average person does not do. So what are we coming into? The holiday season. Y'all, I don't know if you know what happens to the human brain when you expose it to too much refined sugar that happens around Halloween, but it goes wackadoodle. Does anyone else use that term? Wackadoodle. So first of all, it's kind of like a downward spiral for a lot of people for a lot of different reasons during these holiday months. The weather's getting cooler. We're wearing more clothes. All of the sugary things that revolve around tradition come out. Opportunities to be with people who trigger us more than anyone else are galore in October, November, and December in this final quarter of the year. And do you know that depression rates are the highest and suicide rates are the highest in this next few months as any time the rest of the year? It's a really challenging season for a lot of people because of a lot of different factors and reasons. Weather starts to get cooler, all the things. But I know that might sound like that's really depressing that you just mentioned all of that. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm going to tell you how you get on the other side of that and how you win in this season. And that is, you don't do what the typical people do. You determine what a win is going to be for you in this season. And ladies, let me just encourage you with this. We are created with a womb for a reason. We are different. We are made uniquely. We are called to create. And the cool thing about how we create is we don't do it alone. And we don't have to strive to create. Okay, I'm not going to get into a biology lesson here, but I will say this. We are divinely created to create. And so when we are authentically tapped into who we are, when we are taking care of ourselves, when we're around the right people, when we're doing the things to take care of ourselves, when we're focused on our mission, on our personal mission of our business, the mission of our families, the mission of our personal mission that we're called to, and our vision for why we're on this earth, naturally we will create. And what happens to a lot of people in this season is they get a little lax and they get a little cozy, and honestly, a lot of people start eating their feelings and hibernating and pulling themselves from community because of different types of stresses that come up in this season. And vacation season is over. That's all I'll say. People are just ignoring reality in vacation summer seasons. Okay. And so reality is facing a lot of us in the season we're coming into. So we are called to rise higher. So I want to tell you this. I'm encouraging you that this is a pivotal season to create, to do what the average person does not do. The average person wants to eat their feelings, wants to pack on the extra clothing to hide. And yes, all of the things are connected to your personal health in the seasons. That's one thing we do. We lead the way in separation season. And let me just define this a little bit more. Separation season is the season that shows who the leaders are and those who swim upstream versus those who just go with the flow and just go with the pack. They're just a little fishy swimming all in the same direction, down this whatever. But we're over here going, that doesn't look like what I want. So I think I'm going to go this way. And that's separation season. It separates the leaders and those who have clear vision and clarity on what they want, who are willing to do different things and atypical things versus those who are just going with the flow and doing what everybody else is doing. And if you want to have atypical freedom, you do atypical things, right? So I want to encourage you with a couple key areas in this season. And I think this is fun because I didn't realize it until I got a little bit older. Something about your 40s makes you really self-aware, right? But I didn't realize I was competitive. I'm like quietly competitive. I'm really competing against myself, but sometimes like quietly with other people, like you're never going to know I'm competing with you, but I want to be different. I don't want to be like everybody else. Anybody feel that? Like put a 1 in the chat. Like, I don't want to be like everybody else. I don't want to do what everybody, I want to be better than I want to be the best. I want to be the best me. So here's what you do. You don't do what everybody else does. You stay focused on your health. Define what the win is going to be for you this next 3 months. This ain't no willy-nilly. I'm just doing okay. No, you focus and you know what you're doing. And every day you define the win in your business. What is the win in this season? It doesn't mean striving. It doesn't mean working yourself to death. It doesn't mean, but how do you tap into growing your business in this season, which I think is one of the most fun seasons, because when we come into January and you have done the atypical things over this next 3 months, you are like way ahead of everybody else. And you're like, man, you're raring to go when we come into a new year. So how do you want to end this year? How do you want to separate yourself from the pack? What are you going to create in the next 3 months in your health, in your life, for your family, and for your business? I hope that encourages you all.